students, welcome to TS Quick Learn. And the next class and chapter is class 10, and this is a state syllabus. So we'll go with the chapter for polynomials. In the exercise 3.1, the first bit is in P of x is equals to 5x power 7 minus 6x power 5 plus 7x minus 6. What is the coefficient of x power 5, degree of P of x, and constant term? So if we see, a polynomial in x is an expression containing the sum of a finite number of terms of the form ax power n for a real number a, where a not equal to 0 and a whole number n. That means, what are they saying? A polynomial in x is an expression containing the sum of finite terms. That means we have only here in P of x, if we see, we can say 5x power 7 minus 6x power 5, 7x minus 6. These are the finite terms. That means we can count how many terms are there in this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 terms. Finite number of terms of the form ax power n. That means 5x power 7. A stands for the constant number before, and power 7 we can say as a n. So, and a not equal to 0. What happens if a is equal to 0? That term will become 0, because in place of x power 5, if we have 0 in it, x power 7 itself will become 0. So this is the formula for the definition for the polynomial. And the degree of P of x, a polynomial in a variable x of a degree n, where n is any whole number. What is that whole number? P of x is equals to 5x power 7 minus 6x power 5 plus 7x minus 6. What is the highest power? In the above definition, we have seen that n stands for polynomial. N stands for power, like whole number. What is that whole number? That is 7. Degree of P of x is 7, which is the highest degree. So in the question they are asking for coefficient of x power 5, degree of P of x, and the constant term. Here in this, if we check, P of x is equals to the given expression and coefficient of x power 5. See what is there before x power 5. That is minus 6. Minus 6 is the coefficient of x power 5. Degree of P of x is highest power is 7. Constant term is minus 6, because after that we don't have anything, x power 0. So constant term is minus 6. Exercise 3.1 in class 10 is state which of the following statements are true and which are false. Give reasons for your choice. So first question is, the degree of the polynomial is root 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is root 2. Since we have seen already about the coefficients and the powers yesterday. Degree of P of x. What is the degree of P of x? That is the powers. But here they have given the coefficient. Degree of P of x. If we check that definition, a polynomial in a variable x of a degree n, where n is a whole number. What is that whole number? 2. Because in place of coefficients, there might be real numbers, like fractions, there might be roots, anything there might be there. But in place of powers, we'll have only the whole numbers. It might be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So here the variable is in x. So degree is 2, highest degree is 2, and the coefficient is root 2. So the given statement is false. Second bit, the coefficient of x square in the polynomial P of x is equals to P of x. What is the P of x? 3x cube minus 4x square plus 5x plus 7 is 2. What is the coefficient of x square? Just before x square, what is there? Minus 4. But what they have given? It is 2 they are stating. So which is false. The coefficient of x square is not 4, it is minus 4. So the answer is false. And third bit is, the degree of a constant term is 0. Yes, the degree, if we check the above P of x polynomial 3x cube minus 4x square plus 5x, that means 5x power 1 we can say, plus 7x power 0. If it is x power 0, it will be always 1. So the degree of a constant term is 0. So that is true. Variables will have powers in above example. I have given the p of x. And the next, coming to the next bit, 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6 is a quadratic polynomial. Can we say whether it is a quadratic polynomial? If we check the definition first, a polynomial in x is an expression containing the sum of finite number of terms of the form ax power n plus for a real number a where a not equal to 0 and whole number is n. We cannot say it is a polynomial first of all, because it is 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6. The answer is false for this. And the next bit is the degree of a polynomial is 1 more than the number of terms in it. So can we say that in the above polynomial p of x root 2x square minus 3x plus 1, degree is 2. We know that degree is 2, but the number of terms are 3. But what are the terms? Root 2x square minus 3x and 1. These are the terms. Is there any relation between the powers and the number of terms? There is no relation between those two. So degree does not depend on the number of terms. So the answer is false. P of t is equals to t cube minus 1. Find the values of p of 1, p of minus 1, p of 0, p of 2, p of minus 2. Value. So in order to understand how these values work, first we'll understand what is the definition of the polynomial, value of polynomial. So if p of x is a polynomial in x and if k is a real number, then the value obtained by replacing x by k in p of x is called the value of p of x at x is equals to k, and it is denoted by p of k. That means if p of t is equals to t cube minus 1, in place of t, wherever t is there, if you replace it with the real number k, that means p of 1, if we replace it with 1 in place of t, and if we solve the problem, then we'll get the value of that particular polynomial. So if we check here, p of 1 is equals to in t cube minus 1, that means 1 cube minus 1. K is a real number. So 1 cube, we can write as 1 into 1 into 1 minus 1. 1 into 1 into 1 is 1 minus 1. What we get the value? 0. The value of p of 1 will be 0. So if we check for p of minus 1 whole cube, minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 minus 1, and this is into, and that is minus. See to it once while you are doing. Minus into minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1, as we have studied earlier in our below standards. Minus 1. So minus 1 again, 1 into minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 1 is equals to minus 2. The value of p of minus 1 is minus 2. P of 0 is equals to 0 cube minus 1. What is 0 cube? 0 minus 1. The value of p of 0 is minus 1. P of 2. If we replace t cube minus 1 with 2 cube minus 1, 2 into 2 into 2 minus 1. That means 4 into 2 minus 1, 8 minus 1, which is 7. We'll go step by step because we might confuse if we don't do this. So the value of p of 2 is 7. And the next bit is p of minus 2 is minus 2 whole cube minus 1. Write it elaborately so that you understand clearly. Minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2 minus 1. So minus 2 into minus 2, minus into minus plus 2 into 2, 4 into minus 2 minus 1. So first we have to multiply. 4 into minus 2 plus into minus is minus, 4 into 2 is 8 minus 1, that is minus 8 minus 1. We get the answer minus 9. So the value of p of minus 2 is minus 2. That minus 2 and 2 are the zeros of the polynomial x power 4 minus 16. So first we'll understand what is the definition of polynomial, zero of a polynomial. A real number k is said to be zero of a polynomial p of x if p of k is equals to 0. That means in the previous sum we have substituted the values in place of t cube minus 1. If we substitute, we got different values like minus 1, 7, minus 9, 0 and so on. If we get 0 exactly, then we can say that it is a 0 of polynomial. We will check in this example. For this question we'll check. So 0 of a polynomial. A real number k is said to be 0 of polynomial p of x if p of k is equals to 0. P of x is equals to x power 4 minus 16. So what are the zeros that have, what are the values that they are given? P of x, in place of p of x we can write 2. P of 2 is equals to 2 power 4 minus 16. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 minus 16. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. So we can say that minus 2 is a plus 2 is a 0 of a polynomial. We'll check minus 2 afterwards. If we check here, minus 2, p of minus 2 is equals to minus 2 whole power 4 minus 16. Minus 2 into minus 2 is plus 4 into minus 2 into minus 2 minus 16, which is 4 into minus 2 is 4 again, minus 16. So 4 into 4 is 16, minus 16. P of minus 2 is equals to 0. So minus 2 is the 0 of the polynomial. That means we got the value p of 2 also is equals to 0 and p of minus 2 value is also equal to 0. So we can say therefore minus 2 and 2 are the zeros of polynomial. Whether 3 and minus 2 are the zeros of the polynomial p of x when p of x is equals to x square minus x minus 6. So p of x is equals to x square minus x minus 6. What are the zeros that they have given? P of 3 is equals to 3 square minus 3 minus 6. 3 into 3 minus 3 minus 6. 3 3s are 9 minus 3 minus 6. 9 minus 3 how much we get? 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. So the value is 0, so we can say that it is a 0 of a polynomial. Similarly for p of minus 2 also. P of minus 2 whole square minus of minus 2. Check whether your signs are proper because you might get the wrong answer. Minus 2 minus 6. So minus 2 whole square is minus 2 into minus 2. What is minus 2 into minus 2? Minus into minus plus 2 into 2 is 4. Here, so minus of minus 2. We get minus of minus is plus 2 minus 6. This is plus 4 and plus 2. What is plus 4 and plus 2? That is 6. 6 minus 6. We get the answer 0. P of minus 2 is equals to 0. Therefore, plus 3 and minus 2 are the zeros of polynomial p of x, x square minus x minus 6. Thank you.